Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another YouTube video. In this one, I am interviewing one of our clients out of the consulting blueprint. His name is Selna. He's actually a dating coach. He's amassed a pretty solid following on TikTok, and he came to us because he wanted to figure out how to monetize that audience and actually turn it into sales for his coaching business. So he's got a $3,000 coaching offer that helps. We actually helped him build it from scratch. Before that, he was charging $60 a month, which is crazy. Now just $3,000. So he charges $3,000 for his coaching offer. Helped him build out his offer from scratch. He made his first sale a couple days ago, and he landed 40 sales calls in a single evening with our basic, strategies for having conversations, booking in meetings, etc. So if you've got an audience, this is going to be a great call for you. Even if you don't have an audience, it's going to be a great call for you to listen into because he and I go over some really fundamental ideas that helped a lot of our clients succeed and that specifically helped him, grow such a crazy audience and monetize it so quickly. He's easily going to be doing 40, 50, $60,000 a month very, very rapidly with us inside of the consulting blueprint. So welcome to the channel, Selna Kim. It's a pleasure, my man. Welcome to the channel, Mr. Selna. How are you, brother?
Thank you, man. I'm amazing, man. Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate your time.
Absolutely, dude. We were just talking just before the recording, just about just how crazy it is. Just applying some simple models of just here's how to run a call to action. Here's how to book calls. Here's our sales script or our offer ideas. Like, dude, of course, you've just booked 40 calls in a single evening. So
Yeah.
people got that from the intro, they get that from the title. But I think more importantly than that, you're on a foundation of a 30, 40, $50,000 a month business with us. So I'm really excited to help you
Yeah.
build. I just wanted to catch you on the channel. I think we'll probably do an update interview once you're actually cashing these checks, and they're actually coming through and you're actually doing business. But I wanted to catch you early because I got that message from you and you're like, yo, I just booked 40 calls. I'm like, what the heck? Like, what are you doing?
Yeah, man. Like a span of like 2 hours, So I was like, dude,
Yeah.
I gotta tell Trey about this, man.
It's absurd, man. So walk us through what's happening, brother. How's it feel? And kind of walk me through what your experience has been in the program and just, balls in your court.
Yeah, man. It feels great, man. Just because I feel like there's like a huge like stepping stone where it's like people are building up their audience. And it's
Mm,
like there's like this gap where it's like they're just like, man, like I can't even get any leads.
hmm
Like I'm just not even like getting any leads, like even get on the call. And if I do schedule one, then they're not answering. And so I felt like I literally just like skipped over that step and just like jumped right into it. You know what I'm saying? And
hmm
I mean, they say like commonly, I don't know if you heard this before, I'm sure you have, but literally they talk about how like overnight successes are not a success.
hmm
Like, or they're not overnight. Sorry, I said that wrong. Like overnight successes, they're not overnight. Like they're like in the planning stage, and then finally, like it all comes together one night.
Right.
And it's like really because like I really wanted to like take my time, especially after I got into the program here, and just like take my time for like 10 days, just really preparing for actually like launching and actually getting like scheduling these leads in. And
hmm
so something that like the audience probably doesn't know is that I do already have like a big following on TikTok.
hmm
It's over 500,000 now.
hmm
And it's just like what I was doing before though. So like I was getting like people in my messages just like asking me like for help and everything. But something that I like that you guys helped me with is that it was just like you guys were like, dude, you got to simplify this, man. Like you're making it so complicated. Like I was in the messages, and for those that don't know, I am a dating coach. So it's like I was in the messages, like basically like coaching them through their problems. Like maybe if I add some value, like warm them up a little bit, then they'll like hop on a call or like then they'll buy my book or like buy my program or whatever. And it was just like really like once you have that authority, it's almost like a hack to where it's like, dude, yeah, just hop on a call with me, man. Here's the link. Boom. It was like 2 seconds. People are
Yeah.
just like, okay, yeah, like I'll do that right away.
Yeah.
And so,
Wild, dude. It's wild. Yeah. I think a lot of marketers, man, like a lot of guys would, here's the people that would try and sell you. You'd get a million agencies approaching you being like, hey, pay us 6 grand a month. We'll build this whole freaking funnel and build it. You'll get people trying to sell you on this complex process of like, oh, you need all this software, all this tracking. And I
mhm.
think where we kind of undercut even a lot of these agencies with a coaching program, which I'm really proud of, is
Yeah,
just
man. Yeah.
just just have the people message you, talk to them, see, and just offer a call if you think they'd be a good fit. And yeah, dude, I'm by no means am I hiding your audience behind a wall. Really, I think the value of this interview is people that do have that audience that are making the process of buying their thing way too complicated. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
man.
It's like,
And even like I'll even like tell people like even on this call like how to actually gain that audience, because like I didn't start there, you know what I'm saying? Like no one starts there, obviously. They grow
yep,
to that. And like
yep,
even like going back to what you're saying about, you know, like you're almost like you're undercutting like these other agencies. Like before I even came to you guys, you know, like I messaged you like probably like a month or two ago. And then I was actually talking to like some other agencies, like basically like funnel industries, stuff like that. I think I talked to like 4 different industries, and I really just wasn't liking the vibe, because they all got me on a call, but it's just like I just wasn't liking what they were saying. You know, I was just like, these guys just don't, doesn't feel right. You know, and finally I
mhm,
got on a call with you guys, and I was like, man, I was like, just something like they're doing is like, it just makes me want to join them. And
mhm.
so I was like, you know, I just had to join you guys, and really like I don't regret that decision, just because like, dude, it's like obviously with the results, like the results are amazing, but I feel like what really helps me honestly like isn't like the little tricks, like isn't like the really like the juice that you guys give. It's like the mindset part, like the mindset reset boot camp, I think. Isn't that what
Mindset
it is?
programming boot camp. Yep.
Mindset reprogramming. Yeah, like that was like what really like helps me out a lot, because I was like, I feel like a lot of people, they have that view on money to where it's like, you know, like they view like a couple grand as a lot of money.
Mm,
And then it's just like, you know, like just like really switching my mindset to really like view that as like, you know, like that actually like isn't a lot of money when you're thinking about the value that's actually going to create long term for your life.
yep.
Like I think that's what really helped me get on these calls, like book these calls, and actually make them want to join. Is
It's
that making
awesome.
sense?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense, dude. Yeah, I think what's interesting is it's like, there's a thought process you go through when you're marketing and selling yourself. Like, and if at the end of the process, that price tag you say you're worth kind of scares you, then it sabotages every other piece in the process. So, like,
Yeah.
if like your view of money is everything. Like, if you have an unhealthy view of money, even if you have 500,000 people following you on TikTok, if you have an unhealthy view of money in business and exchange, and you don't feel like you're valuable in the market or whatever, like
Hmm.
literally your perception of your, especially with a guy with as much audience pull as yourself, if you do not have a healthy view of money, that is the difference between like 2 million a year and like 100,000 a year, because you've got this
Hmm.
audience. And so a lot of people, I got this hate comment recently, bro. You can look at one of my last videos, and maybe if you're watching this, you look at the video. There's these two guys back and forth ripping me. Like, there's no way this kid makes this much money because he doesn't have that big of an audience. Dude,
Hmm.
like, it's not my audience. It's the fact that I'm willing to do business with everybody in it because I know I can change their life fundamentally and add value to them. And so,
Dude, that's like literally you hit it like right on the nail, because it's like you can like there's people that I know that have like over 1 million followers, but they're going broke because it's just like
mhm,
they don't know how to like actually take advantage of the audience. Basically, I guess that sounds kind of bad, but like literally like, you know, use the audience and actually build some income off of that. And it's like
right, right. Well, I
it's
would I
not.
would change
Yeah.
your words from take advantage and use. It's and think even like there's no unethical. It's more like add value to and find creative ways to serve. You know,
Exactly. Yeah.
and
Hmm.
when you kind of see it through that lens, and all of a sudden it's like, whoa, I've got 500, like, so no, you got 500,000 people that could potentially buy your $3,000 offer. If you were able to sell 10% of them, that's 50,000 people paying you 3 grand. So it's like, so my
Yeah.
job as your coach is like, all right, how do we build out this process? How do we build like really, really juicy call to actions, an incredible offer that's super hard to say no to, and build up your coaching team and your delivery? Like, dude, we can get you to 7 figures, multiple 7 figures so quick, man. And so, like, for me, I think what my audience is confused by is like, how does he make this much money with this much of an audience? Like, dude, I
Hmm.
because I got people like Selna in my audience
Hmm.
that see the value in what we talked about. And I think same for you,
Yeah.
man. 500,000 people that, and you help them. You say you're a dating coach. Is it specifically just like dating around, or is it finding the loved one, or is it just like what's the outcome you try and generate for your guys? I'm curious.
Yeah, really. So like that's what actually helped a lot too, because we basically like we took my 3 pillars and we redesigned them to where it's like, you know, because like you said, a confused buyer will not buy. A confused, you know, lead will not buy, obviously. And so I was like, you know, like my offer, it's really confusing, man. I was like, really got to simplify this. And
Mm,
so literally like I just simplifies it down to the 3 C's is what we call them. And the first one is like kind of like the mindset thing that you guys do, where it's like confidence. The first C is confidence, to where it's like, obviously, man, like if you have a girl that you like or that you find attractive, wherever you're at, work, class, on the street, you got to first have like the confidence to actually go up and talk to her.
mm-hmm.
Pretty simple to understand, just like if you sum her up just like that. And then the second one is like, okay, now that you have the confidence to go talk to her, and you did, you basically have to have the competency, which basically means the ability to actually say the right things, actually make her attracted, or even consider like going on a date with you potentially, or giving you her number. Because a lot of guys that go up to a girl, they're just like, I think you're so beautiful. Can I have your phone number? And they're basically, it's just like basically the girl's like, oh, he just said I'm beautiful just to get my phone number. So I'm not gonna give my number now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm like, okay, you have the competency to actually like speak to her, man. Like speak to her, not rush things. See who she is first, attract her, say the right things, make her
Yeah,
laugh.
no
Then get
doubt.
her number. And then finally, number three, the third C is the close, where it's like you get her on a date, potentially make her your girlfriend, and really like that all comes up to you, And so that's my job, is to really just help guys talk to and really build the confidence to actually talk to a girl that they find attractive, and potentially start dating her.
It's cool. I love it, dude. So the outcome is basically just landing, because like I think a lot of people talk about like, oh, what's your field of expertise? But in our program, we talk a lot about like people make outcome driven decisions. And so if your offer has this subtle like outcome theme, like
Mm-hmm.
our outcome is pretty obvious: fill your calendar with sales calls, grow your coaching or consulting business to multiple five figures a month, 20, 40, $60,000 a month, and help you make a lot of money impacting people's lives. Like that's the outcome. But then a
Yeah,
lot of coaches, they will like say, oh, I am an expert in blank. But the problem is nobody pays you because you're an expert. They pay
mm-hmm.
you for the outcome. So then you can say,
Exactly,
hey, what's 3 grand against getting a date every weekend for the next year? What's 3 grand?
exactly.
And so versus what's 3 grand for an hour of my time because I'm the expert. Like that's not worth it. Right.
Exactly. Yeah, they're like, well,
So
I don't care that you're an expert. What are you going to give me? Type of thing.
exactly. And then the buyer makes this decision from this frame of mind of like, oh, well, it's 3 grand for 6 hours, and that's, I don't know, $600 an hour, something like that. And they're like, oh, it's six
Yeah.
hundred bucks an hour for this guy. Like, that's not worth it. This is just a 24-year-old dude. Like, why'd I pay a
Mm-hmm.
24-year-old dude $600? Because they're not making a decision based on the outcome. And so I think one of the things
Exactly.
we help you with is like, all right, Selma, you are not a dating coach expert. You help men get dates. And
Mm-hmm.
like that subtle difference is so huge. And it allows you to go into the DM and be like, yo, let's get a call. I want to see if I can get you dates. Like that's what you're doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Because that's like, you got like you said, man, you got to understand your marketplace first off. And it's like you got to understand like what people want, because a
Mhm.
lot of people, like, this is like a little hint for people that haven't built that audience, that are actually really interested in building that audience, is that you got to know, like, first off, what the market even wants you to talk about. Because I was actually talking to my girlfriend about this the other day, is that like it doesn't really matter what you post. If you it's like almost like if you like it, it matters really what the audience thinks of it, like how it impacts the audience. It's always about how it comes back to the audience, because that's what creates leads. It doesn't
Yes.
matter really what you like or want to talk about. Really, it matters to an extent, but it's like you got to really look at what they want to hear about. And the majority of the
Yep.
people that want to hear about, how do I be more confident? How do I, what do I say when she says this? How do I get an ex-girlfriend back? My
Yep.
girlfriend's pulling away. How do I, like, what do I have to say to reattract her? Because
Right.
I can tell she's pulling away. Like, that's
Right.
like the most common thing in this niche.
Yep. Dude, that's great. Yeah. And it's like just knowing an issue. And like now that you've got all these sales calls, dude, I just got off a call with one of our one-to-ones. He's doing 200,000 a month. He's in our mastermind level. He's doing 200,000 a month
Mm-hmm.
with a done for you marketing agency, and he wants to launch a program helping people start their own marketing agencies. He wants to
Yeah.
kind of that market. And I was telling him the same thing. I was like, look, dude, like um, you're gonna get the most market research from your sales calls. Like you right now, Selma, like the set, like I know I think you've brought one guy in for your offer at this point, from what I know. So you brought one guy
Mm-hmm.
in, and he's committed to pay the full three. So he's got
Yeah.
like a split pay plan of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
And then as you go on, dude, as you sell more of these guys, like, dude, I challenge you to go on your TikTok and be like, hey, I just got off a consult with a guy named Justin. This is what he said, and I just want to relay this message to you and let you know that, like, if you're like this, you should book a call. Because then
Yeah.
you're literally pulling straight from the source of what's working.
Exactly.
Especially if they
Yeah.
click those. You can say like, hey, I just want to come on here, welcome aboard blank, their name to the program. He invested for these reasons, and these are his goals. Mix those with like results posts, and then continue to do the TikToks you already do. Dude, it's gonna be nuts what that's gonna create for your business. It's gonna be
Yeah, man.
nuts.
I can already see it, man. It's just gonna be beautiful. The outcome,
So,
and like
so where do you
that's
want
a
to
good
get?
idea too.
Yeah, no worries. You pull your copy straight from your sales calls.
Yeah.
Uh, so dude, where do you want to get, man? What's the 6, 8, 12 month vision for you in terms of revenue, in terms of client impact? Like where, kind of what's the goals for you? Because I think the clients, the viewers listening to this, I guess I do kind of consider them clients, to be honest,
Yeah.
are thinking, all right, like I see where he's at now. Where do you want to get, and how do you see yourself getting there? Because you're pretty fresh to the program too. You're only with us for what, like 2 weeks, 3 weeks,
Yeah,
something like
probably 2 weeks. Yeah, I'd say like 2 weeks. And like the first week I just spent literally just like knocking down the course, just like, all right, I gotta get through this course, man. Just like prepare, so it's like literally like little action almost, like a lot
that.
of preparing. And so yeah, man, my goals, I came into the program because I was like, I want to start making like 20K a month. I was like, that sounds like a good number to me. I don't know why, it just sounded like a good number to me.
Mhm.
But from there, it's like, like after I really saw like the potential this has, is like, I really want to in the next like 6 months at least get to about 50K a month. If I can't even get there sooner,
Yep.
actually start building like a really strong team to actually
Mhm.
handle a lot of it for me.
Mhm.
Kind of like what you guys have currently. It'd be beautiful.
Mhm.
Those are my current goals. And like, it's actually like, it's cool because it's not just like a goal. It's like, I can actually see it
Yep.
now.
Yep.
Hmm.
Dude, if you can see it in your mind's eye first, odds are you can probably do it. You know, like once that
Exactly.
is very clear in front of you, it gets actually quite easy to make that. So like if
Hmm.
all we do give our clients is just that sense of clarity, then like we've done our job. Now it's just up for you to do the day to day and take it one day at a time to build that vision. What
Yeah.
would your advice be for people who maybe have a platform, who have an audience? Maybe two sorts of advice. A, building an audience, and I know it's not my niche at all. I don't talk TikTok at all. I stay away from
Hmm.
platform talk in general because I'd rather teach principles. This is why we could serve you, right?
Hmm.
So not Facebook organic coaches. We are like we know the principles that apply to every platform. So, but that said,
Exactly.
let's get specific. How do you build an audience? And then for people who do have an audience, what would you say they need to do to start recreating some results similar to yours?
Yeah, for sure, man. And like, I know it's like a lot of people that are probably saying like, oh, he already had an audience. So like, this is like, I'm like, no, like, we're going to help you. Like, cause I didn't start there, like I started from zero. Literally, I have a picture on my phone of like me with 13 followers,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
in 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And
And
so
I
it's
think to
like,
add to that too, like there's people with a massive audience that make no money.
yeah.
Like they're everywhere. It's everywhere. So just,
Hmm.
making sure that's super clear for our viewers. Like just because he has an audience, honestly, in a way, it can be a disadvantage because the way the influencers behave does not serve their business and like it screws them over,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, man. That's definitely true. Hmm. Cause I remember, just like like a really quick side note, cause there was this model that I know in LA, and she, I think, had like 1.1 million followers on like Instagram, TikTok, really
Hmm.
just like the big two.
Hmm.
And I know like she was going broke. She was going bankrupt. And this one other dating coach I knew, he was like, I was like, what if we did, like, he thought this was like a brilliant idea. He was like, what if we just like, because all of her followers are probably like guys, like mostly guys. And they're like, what if we just like marketed like a dating book to them? And they tried that and literally got like zero sales on a million followers.
It's crazy.
And
That's
I was
because
like,
all the guys are following her for. I mean, we all know why they're following her. They're not gonna buy
yeah,
anything.
we all know why.
Yeah.
And like the guys were like, I don't care about this dating book, man. I just want to look at her type of thing. So it skipped right over the ad.
Dude, if you build it like this is one of my huge pieces of like if you look back at my old content, my channel, the audience that I built like did not resonate with the size of the offer that we have now. So
Yeah.
to these haters, like I got these haters on my video. I talked about it a second ago. To their
Hmm.
point, yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense if you don't understand the back end that we have. But people don't understand. Like the money is made in the back end. People will look at your front and then make so many judgments. You know, but if you can
Hmm.
build like, dude, if you can build a $3,000 group coaching program that gets consistent results with a $15,000 boot camp weekend getaway upsell with private one-to-one consultations that 3 grand in that, like it starts to scale really well. Put some coaches in place, write a
Hmm.
book, run some ads to the book, grow the platform. Like there's a lot you can do, man. And I just want to be your coach and help make it happen. Because
Yeah,
even
man.
pre-call, like I think some people who might be more PC or plugged into our culture, like a dating coach, like it doesn't hit me well. But like trust me, dude, like before our call, me and Selena we really got along. There's a lot we see very in common. So if you like me, you should definitely like Selma. But that
Hmm.
said,
I
dude,
appreciate that. Yeah.
yeah, for sure. So how do you build an audience, and what's your advice to people who have an audience trying to monetize it?
Yeah, for sure. We can start from the point where it's like, because you were talking about like the haters. Remember, you were talking about the haters before, and just like a quick point about the haters, man. Like, of course, like when you actually get a following, man, like when you're getting results consistently, like dude, the amount of haters that you're gonna have
It's
is
crazy.
just astronomical, man. Like I
It's
cannot
honestly,
believe it.
it's honestly, it actually legitimately makes me feel good because I'm like, oh wow, like my results are so good that they can't believe me. It's kind of,
Yeah.
yeah.
And like something I heard, man, for like going viral and actually making like consistently like 100,000, even million viewed videos, they say like what I actually look for is like I'm looking almost, it's almost like I'm looking for hate. Cause I'm like, if I'm getting hated, that means like I'm polarizing myself.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if everyone likes you, then you're not gonna be able to like you're basically not gonna grow a following really because everyone likes you kind of thing. It's like you always want to have like that side that just doesn't hates you because of your haircut or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like the side where they're just like, dude, like I really love this guy.
Yeah. Or even like I like to polarize on worldview. Like I'm like
Mhm.
people that resonate with what I believe will want to do business. The people that don't, and that's fine. That's why it's
Mhm.
a market. You can find somebody else, and I think that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, yeah. And like the good thing about that too is like that's not like you're not doing it like I know it sounds like a strategy, like oh polarize yourself, but like polarize yourself in a way, like kind of like you do, where it's like it actually is who you are. You believe it fully. You're not
Mm-hmm.
just doing it just to get some clout or some views,
Mm-hmm.
because that's always going to end at the end of the day. It's
Mm-hmm.
like I like that you do it because you're like, this is actually who I am. And like if you don't like it, that's really on you,
Yeah.
you know?
Well, yeah, you just get so you start to understand that like even with our program, we teach people how to use like organic Facebook, platform growth, like rapid growth to build their audience and book their calls. So even if you don't have an audience, like even there, our advice is like, don't like pretend to be something you're not. Because if you're
Exactly.
going to be something you're not, you're building a business that is going to be so hard for you to personally recover from 4 years from now.
Hmm.
And that was my mistake. Like I saw the guys in the industry, like I'm just gonna be like this guy, and I'm gonna pull this thing from this guy, and I'm gonna do a little bit of this guy, and like I just like made this character that wasn't actually me, dude.
Yeah.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it's kind of like you're like, like doing a painting or like, like building the house and it's like you're building it. It's like at the end of the day, like it's all off, man. Like the windows
Mm-hmm.
are in like the basement.
And I think it came from this core belief that I wasn't worthy of my goals, so I had to become somebody else.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
I think painting on that somebody else was what I did. I can genuinely become that person and grow and change my self image, but I like painted it on. So like on YouTube, I was one thing, and then personally, I was another. And then it like made it hard for me to have a good personal life too, which then affected the results of the business because I was so divided in my world.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, building an audience it's a very personal journey for sure. You have to get very comfortable just like kind of polarizing and not really saying what people just want you to say just because it's what they want you to say.
Hmm. Yeah. And yeah, it definitely is a journey, man. Like I definitely fell into like that pattern, when I was building the audience, just because like literally went from like 0 followers to about like 100K in about like 3 days. And like literally like, out of nowhere, I was like, man, like I feel like now I have to actually like hold this perception of somebody that maybe I'm not. And so like it actually started to stress me out. And I was like, like go back to actually like who you really are. Like
Mm-hmm.
you just want to do this for like offering value.
Mm-hmm.
That's like my first recommendation. Like if you really want to build content, like build a following on any social media specifically, but especially on TikTok. I think it took me like 24 videos to finally get like a video that got like 2 million views on it on TikTok. So it was like actually like pretty fast.
It's crazy.
And literally like, from there just like took off. And like one of the things that you want to look for, especially like right now, is like, yeah, you can talk about the things that you want to talk about, absolutely, but it's like look at what's trending in the industry right now. Like literally I was just like surfing through like the content. I was like, what's trending? Like what's like the hot topic in my niche? And then, I was like, oh, it's this topic. Take this topic. You can literally do that on like any social media, man. You can go to YouTube, look up like this week most liked, and there's gonna be like 10 videos right there
Mm.
about like, and a lot of them had like the same topic, especially on TikTok, man. You can literally go to TikTok, literally like adjust the settings to where it's like most like videos past month. And a lot of them I had like literally the same topic that they're talking about. It's just like regurgitating, man. Like I don't know. Do you know who Dan Pena is?
I do. I think so. I know his name. I kind of forget what he focuses on.
Yeah, he's definitely polarized, man. If you watch him, but he's just like because like a lot of people, he's like there hasn't been a new idea since the third commandment. He says
Mm.
like everyone's like it feels like everyone's just like like just like basically recycling everything. That's what it
Mm.
feels like. And like I'm not saying like go out there and copy. Like I'm not saying do that. Like add your own twist to it. It's like if you see some content like a good topic that you want to talk about that's trending, make your own video on that.
Yeah.
and
No
really
doubt.
and really just like put your own twist onto it, and like eventually you're gonna have one that people will like really radiate with, and they're like, dude, I really like what that guy had to say about this, man. I'm gonna check out his other videos. And like
Yeah.
that's the other thing, man. Like a lot of people, man, they'll start out, a lot of people, I'm sure you know this too, like a lot of people, they'll start out literally, they'll start out and like they'll be making videos, and they'll get to like video number 10, they're like, this hasn't blown up yet, man, so I'm just gonna quit.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna quit now, and it's like you should just like, it's like almost like, I love this this saying where it's like, if how like let's say like a baby, it tries to a baby that's crawling, it gets up, it tries to walk, and it falls down, gets up and tries to walk again, it falls down, gets up and tries to walk again, it falls down. Like the parents don't say like, like maybe we should just, maybe he's just not meant for walking. Like he's tried it like 3 times, maybe he's just not meant for walking. Like the baby like gets up and tries until it finally walks. Like that's how you should view it. Like if you really want to build this business and build this audience, it's like
It's
you
like
do it out ever many times it takes to get there.
Yeah, it's a standard. Yeah, like dude, like the reason why babies learn how to walk is because it's like they see everybody around them walking, and so like that's my thing with joining CB or community like ours, and just high level people that are helping you. Like, and we've got this in-person event we're arranging, and I'd love to see you there. By the way, brother, love to see you.
Yeah, man. I was actually going to ask you about that, like off the call, but yeah, I'd love to be there.
I'll walk you through the process. But dude, just being in the room, like the reason why babies learn how to walk is because everybody around them is like they're the only one not walking. It's like
Yeah.
it's like they on some primal level know like this isn't how it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
And so like I think everybody, if you want to speed through growth and just hack it, just surround yourself with incredible people. And I think, Sana, what you did is you were like, all right, I've got this audience, I've got a message. Now I need to surround myself with people that know how to monetize and sell and add value and build a business on the back. And you came to the right people for sure. So, yeah, dude, what are just some things you would say to the viewer here, like just to add some value or help the beginners through the process of growing their coaching business, growing their audience online, selling more of their services? Like what, in your perspective, because I think, this has been an interesting interview for sure. It's a bit different than normal. It's not like, oh, you went from X level of revenue to another level of revenue. I'm kind of experimenting with another form of an interview here. But just kind of bring it down to earth. What would you tell the people who are maybe in your niche as a dating coach specifically? Because I do think we have a lot of people who do that would love to learn more about, scaling that business. Like give some advice to the person that is in the dating coach niche that is trying to, build their audience, get calls. Like what are they overcomplicating? What are they missing? Because even like the fact that you brought in 40 sales calls to me says, okay, this guy has a $40,000 month business. Like you brought it in a single day. And I know how the market works. Like if you bring in that much volume, that shows you have enough demand to be doing that level of revenue within a week.
Exactly. So, it's like I'm literally booked until like 20, like literally the Wednesday before Thanksgiving, like solidly booked.
Wild, dude. With how many calls a day average?
About on Mondays, I usually do about 4 to 5. So I did 2 this morning. Nice. And then I have 2 like later this evening.
Nice.
And so literally it's just like stacked, and like sometimes like some days I don't do like 2, or like I do around 2 just because I have already clients that I'm already coaching, and obviously I'm gonna have more that I'm signing on. So it's like I have to almost like give my sales calls to like my team to handle while I just actually coach my one-on-ones, just like kind of like make that change. But like if I were to give some advice, the viewer, especially like dating coaches, or just like really the viewer in general, it's just like a couple of things, man. I think the most important one that I struggled with doing is, dude, you got to get a mentor, man. Like, and that's why I had to see you guys out. And I was like, I have to get a mentor, just because literally, man, like I was just like, maybe I could just like tough this out, man. This is like, I'll just, this is some rough waters, but I'll get through it. Like I'll live on my 2K to 3K a month, eat some ramen. And like in the next year, like if I truly believe it, then it'll prosper. And it's like, dude, like it's so simple, man. Like I'd rather just drop the 5 or 10K, get a mentor, and they're going to get you to that point in about less than 30 days. Like, duh, it's a no freaking brainer. Like, and like literally, like I'd recommend like to anybody watching, man, like you guys got to go with high level systems, man. Like it's just like a no brainer, and it's like, and a lot of the times, man, it's usually, and not only get in the program, not only get in high level systems, but watch the freaking mindset stuff, man. Like that's the stuff you're missing.
We rebranded. Consulting Blueprint.
Consulting Blueprint, man. Okay, well, it was High Level System. Go with Consulting Blueprint then. So I'm like, literally, okay, don't search High Level Systems, like, disclaimer, guys. Like, search Consulting Blueprint. So I'm like, dude, like, just get in there, man, and don't just get inside. Like, dude, get inside and just watch the mindset stuff, because that's the stuff that's really going to change your business, man. Because there's this thing called the law of duality, where it states that a lot of people are so focused on like the fruits of a tree. You know, like the farmers, like, how do I get like the fruits like riper, better, bigger? And like so many people are so focused on the results that they forget what brings the results, and that's actually like the roots, man. If you make the roots of that tree stronger, like the environment of that tree is so important, man. Like the soil you put it in, if you make the soil better, man, more rich for the tree, it's gonna automatically harvest better fruit.
No doubt.
You know
No
what I'm saying? So it's like, get in here, and like if you change like your internal really perspective, man, like your mindset, not only on money, just like yourself, man, because a lot of people have these limiting beliefs about themselves, man. They're so unconfident. The self-perception is so weak about themselves. Like, just get in here and just change that about yourself, man. And like, dude, like in 30 days, man, like you're gonna look in the mirror and be like, is that me, man? Like, that's me right there. Like, literally, I'm making money and I'm happy and like I feel great.
Yeah, I love it. Some great advice, dude. And I've taken it myself. You know, I mean, I've spent at this point like 200 grand on help. You know, like,
Yeah.
I'm the first. I lead by example, dude. Like, I'm always learning. But I appreciate it, brother. Just wanted to kind of document, 40 sales calls in a single evening. And learning how to monetize your audience and really capitalize on some momentum that you've got. It's seriously cool to see, dude. And I'm looking forward to watching where it continues to grow, and keep working with us, man. Let us help you. Let us help you convert these calls, record them, run them by the team. Let us, give you that input on the sales calls themselves. And, I know one of our group calls, I give you some input on your offer, and I'm sure that's been valuable as well to help push people over the ledge. So, dude, just kudos, man. Keep it up. We're going to keep serving you and making sure that you do reach the full potential of what your audience and what your business is capable of. So, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much, man. Just thank you so much for having me and coaching me. And I really look forward to seeing where this grows to in the next couple of weeks,
It's gonna be crazy.
even months and years. So thank you so much, man. Again, really appreciate you.
I appreciate you, man. I'll speak soon.